it's you! Hiya, pal! Well, what do you know? You're back! Well,
Oops.
I'm ready when you are, pal!
Well, seeing how it is that I put,
Excuse me?
Hey, shut up. Seeing how it is that I used, up all the playsets, I put the Lone Ranger playset away, and I put the, Stitch hexagonal power disc that I got up on its place, so that way it wouldn't be a complete blank spot. And that's why he yelled at me. But you can't do that sort of thing in the Hall of Heroes. And anyway, speaking of Hall of Heroes, let's go. Let's show you the fruits of my labor. Look at this. Silver for those guys. The Incredibles. Mike is still bronze because I want to save him until I get Randall and I go back to the Monsters University set. Can you believe this crap? I didn't find out until later on it was level 5 that they turned into silver, so I got silver for all these guys, but Francesco is still bronze. So much for him being the almighty Francesco whatever, huh? In any case, let's make this silver. Silver Tonto, congratulations. And a silver for you. Silver Lone Ranger, the highest currency in the West. But Mickey's already silver, let's make him gold! Very nice, that's me! Anna is also gold. Let's make it so. But I already got her, so I guess she didn't keep. Rapunzel, however, is also a gold. We can change her. So there you go. All of the playset-less characters, Wreck-It Ralph, Vanellope, Rapunzel, Harry the Platypus, Flash Agent P, Phineas, Elsa, Anna, Jack Skellington, and Mickey Mouse. They're all gold, because I cheated. I spun them around. And as you can see, the pirates and whatnot, they're still silver. The Toy Story characters, they're still silver. And I still haven't gotten Syndrome and Randall yet. Those will come at another time. Who knows when that'll be, but they will come. So yeah. As far as everything goes with Disney Infinity, that takes care of that. I played all the playsets. I got a crap ton of stars. I have all but 2 characters. Hopefully that will change in some time.
I can't wait to tell Minnie what I did today.
Awesome character angle here. Yeah, there we go. That'd be nice for a thumbnail. Future me, get on it. So let me mute this so Mickey doesn't interrupt me, and I can interrupt him plenty. I really had a lot of fun with this. I mean, you know, the characters, finding them were expensive, but getting them were totally worth it, especially in the case of the playset characters where you can keep getting numerous characters and numerous unlocks with the more characters you had. And there's also, you know, just the whole thrill of being able to have all these guys and be able to swap them around in playset so you don't have to end up playing as one person every single time like I did with the Monsters University set, with only having Sully at the time. The playsets were fun. I enjoyed them. You know, some of them were a lot better than others. And speaking of the playsets, here you go. Here's my top, here's my, you know, from worst to best, or, you know, least favorite to most favorite. All the way at the bottom, unfortunately, is Toy Story, because I expected a lot more from a, you know, a game or a playset about toys, and a game's all about toys, you know. They're supposed to be, you know, the kings of imagination. It's playtime. I don't understand what that was about. I mean, granted, I understand that we got ourselves a little, you know, space adventure out of these guys, and everybody was Space Rangers, and it was awesome and, you know, incredible and whatnot, but it really wasn't. All it was is just, you know, running a laundry list for several different aliens and, you know, building a colony. That's really all it was, just building a colony for the little green men, and, you know, there was nothing really spectacular about it. I mean, there were the combat simulations, but that's all there were at the end. Combat simulations. They weren't actually really happening. The closest thing you ever got to any actual real action in this playset was in the very end, when the real Zurg attacked. And, you know, that's just in the face of Davy Jones's goons, and all that you had to do with the racers and cars, and, you know, even Syndrome's Omnidroid's never-ending Omnidroid Reign of Death. That's just, you know, that just doesn't cover the job. It just doesn't really substitute for the real deal. Number 5, I would have to say, would be The Incredibles. It it was a lot more fun playing as these guys. You know, all the superpowers, having to deal with them, fighting Syndrome. But the one thing that, you know, crapped out on me as far as that game, that playset goes, is just the sheer volume of the amount of time Syndrome would drop death from the sky, and it just got annoying. You're trying to do stuff, and all of a sudden, Omnijoys keep raining down on you. It's, you know, it was terrible. And, you know, while it was fun swapping around all the superpowers of these characters, you know, the respective superpowers, doing all this stuff, I can understand it being a superhero's life is hectic as all balls, but, you know, it doesn't have to be that hectic, and it just, the sheer amount of Omnijoys you had to fight, and the, you know, overall difficulty of them being thrown at me, especially those laser ones, that just killed it for me. So, number 5, The Incredibles. Number 4, Monsters University. It's kind of, you know, it's kind of a piss-poor move on my part to put Monsters University at such a low level, but it was still fun for what it was worth. I had a lot of fun running around all the campuses as Sullivan. I'd like to go back again as Mike, and in the future as Randy when I get him. But it was still a fun story. I enjoyed the cutscenes. I enjoyed, you know, the competition of, you know, the little Scare Week thing going on, all the paintball stuff, and, you know, it was the first one that I had played, and through that, I ended up getting the, what's it called? The Glow Urchin. So that, it wasn't a total waste. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst either. It was, kind of in between. Number 3, Lone Ranger. It was something of an adventure in its own right. There was still a lot of going back and forth, catching up on everything, just like the Toy Story. It was going back and forth, doing all these tasks. Unlike Toy Story, though, Toy Story was like, you know, with little or no rhyme or reason. With going back and forth in the Lone Ranger, at least there was something of an adventure to it. Sometimes you had to deal with the Cavendish gang, and, you know, Butch and his family causing a ruckus, and you had to stop them. And it was just it was kind of like a little story in its own right. So it saved it from being too monotonous, and I had a lot more fun with that than I did with Toy Story. Number 2, in the surprising twist, is the car set. I honestly went in not really expecting a lot from the car set, but, you know, I like racing games, you know, like licensed racing games like, you know, Mario Kart and Diddy Kong Racing, and I like combat racing games like Jack X and Twisted Metal, of course, the you know, the father, the king of combat racing, and they had both in it. And unlike a lot of people, I like cars a lot more than most people do. I think it's a fun movie. I enjoyed the sequel. Whenever the third one comes out, I'll be sure to see it. And it just really surprised me how good it was. I mean, it was just fun driving around, fun towing numerous cars at once. It was just insanity. I had a lot of fun with it. And of course, number 1, Pirates of the Caribbean. My God, what can you say about this one? The adventure, the finding treasure, the sailing around in a ship that you can customize, anywhere from, like, you know, skeletal things like the, you know, akin to the Flying Dutchman, but not exactly close to it. And, you know, there's also the opportunity of getting the Black Pearl. It was a really fun adventure, and that's just the way pirates should be. It's adventure on the high seas, free to do whatever you want, and, you know, just in the case of this one, you'd be able to play as Jack Sparrow, even though the story was centered around him, or, you know, doing whatever. You also had the opportunity to play as Hector Barbosa, and, funnily enough, Davy Jones. It's kind of funny that you were allowed Davy Jones, you know, to play as Davy when he was the antagonist, and you kind of had like a secondary antagonist in Macus. I really had not a hard time. I had a fun time going after him and finally giving him his, and it was all too satisfying to sink the Flying Dutchman to have Davy Jones curse your name as he went down with the ship like a proper captain should. So yeah, that takes care of Disney Infinity for the most part. I still, in the future, have intentions of going on and checking out some online toy boxes, especially the ones made from Matt, because that's the sole reason I got the Wii version to begin with, and it actually helped out a lot more than I expected because of the whole quick swap on the gamepad. And there's also the fact that I still need to get the remaining 2 characters. When that'll happen, I don't know. But I'm glad to have taken care of this before Disney Infinity 2.0 comes out, because then they had the Marvel superheroes like the Avengers, Spider-Man, Green Goblin. I don't know who's going to be playable and who's not. You have Merida, Maleficent, you Stitch, and I'm pretty sure there was one more. I can't remember, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be blasted. It's going to be expensive as balls. I hope I can do that in the future. So, whatever happens first, be it my getting Syndrome and Randy, or Disney Infinity 2.0, or looking over at the what's it called, the online toy boxes that everybody made. It's going to be fun no matter what. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for sitting with me for 103 episodes, the new record, as we would have expected, and it will more than likely grow because it's not called Disney Infinity without a reason, right? Now, as I be surrounded with my new friends, I'll see you all later. Take care, everybody.